All right, boys, welcome back to another exciting stream. Oh, who is ready to get this done? Who is ready to do this? Because I have been ready since I decided to do it this morning. I've been ready since 8 a.m. this morning, or maybe it was actually more like 7 a.m. I got up around 6:30 this morning, and basically no more than a half hour after I woke up, I was like, I am ready to do this. I am ready to try a 4 p.m. stream just to see how it goes, just because I have like this sweet spot where like I usually wrap up work between 3 and 4, and then like I don't have to start my evening life, and I know you know what that means. I don't have to start that life until about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I did warn my wife that I would be streaming from 4 to 6, saying that, you know, I would probably be streaming when she got home, but I would be wrapping up by the time she got home. So we'll see how this goes. But I was mostly excited. I gotta admit, I was mostly excited by this softmax algorithm, right? This softmax algorithm that we touched upon last night. And so we'll get to that in a minute, but I also wanted to think about, no, I was not on mute. I thought I was on mute. There were two things I wanted to talk about. First, I just wanted to remind everybody, all 3 people watching, I wanted to remind you that I could fix her. That this girl, if you know this girl, just let her know that I can fix her. That's the one thing. And then I saw that apparently, let me bring this up actually, to do a little bit of news here, a little bit. I mean, we talked about politics for like the first hour last night. So let's talk a little politics tonight. No, we're not going to talk about any of that. Which oddly enough, Iran, wow, like the Iran story just really does not want to get any press, but apparently thanks to our on the ground reporter Matthew, he let us know that there is an internet blackout in Iran, which is really strange because just last night we were talking to a listener, a viewer, whatever you want to call a viewer, named Oculision. And I know that Matthew hates when I say that name because I'm not pronouncing it right, but Oculision is like how I like to say it, who was in Iran, and he was talking about how he was worried that bombs were going to be dropping on his house. So I hope he's okay. And we were basically, I believe the consensus last night was that like he was surprised, and a few other people in the chat room, they were surprised that Iran had not already blacked out the internet. And it looks like they have, because I guess things have just gotten that bad. Internet blackout in Iran. Let's look at this. Okay, this is just kind of like a feed, right? Like a video shared on X, which the BBC has verified, shows crowds of protesters gathering in Kish Island, which is a resort island in the Hormozgan province of the southeastern coast of Iran. Now, wait a minute. Iran is not landlocked. Wait, I'm trying to do this without looking at a map. It's not landlocked. It's the southwestern part that is on, I don't remember what body of water. I want to say that the Red Sea or the Dead Sea. I'm not sure. Let's look it up. I know that Iran. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. All right. I'm completely wrong. I don't know what I was thinking of. Iran actually has. Okay, so to the Arabian Sea, it actually has a fair amount of coastline. I'm thinking Iran was like up here. Like I'm thinking Iran was like Turkmenistan or something, right? Where it's not landlocked, but it doesn't actually have like free access to open ocean. But it certainly does. So that okay, I learned something new. So Tehran is up. Now, what is this? Is this the Red Sea? The Caspian? No. What is it? It is the Caspian Sea. Okay. So that's where Tehran is. But yeah, so chanting and clapping can be heard in the footage as hundreds of people take to the streets. So the thing is that it's kind of a bad sign that the internet's cut off, right? Because if I'm not saying the government is doing this, but it is almost as though the government is cutting off the internet because the government does not want what it's about to do to get out to the masses. That's kind of how I would take it. I don't know. It could also be a control measure. I mean, I guess that's actually pretty plausible as well, where basically people are using the internet to communicate, right? So if you can't use the internet to communicate, you can't communicate, that kind of cuts down on the organization. But I mean, come on. Let's see. U.S. President Donald Trump says that he has let the Iranian government know if they start killing people, then we are going to hit them very hard. Good. I applaud Donald Trump for that. Now, I understand that there are probably some people who are against that and think that Iran should be left to its own vices to kill its people, which there is an argument to be made for that to some extent, right? Because they are a sovereign nation, and sovereign nations, in theory, can do what sovereign nations want to do. But that actually is not how it works. Sovereign nations with the biggest guns can do what they want to do. Sovereign nations with smaller guns can only do what the sovereign nations with the bigger guns let them do. So there is a distinction, and there is a fine line there. Trump says, I have let them know that if they start killing people, which they tend to do during the riots, they have lots of riots. If they do, we are going to hit them very hard, Trump said in an interview with conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt earlier today. I've never even heard of Hugh Hewitt. We're watching it very closely, he says. They know, and they have been told very strongly, even more strongly than I am speaking to you right now, that if they do that, they are going to have to pay hell. I applaud this. I applaud this. How is it just saber rattling? Would Trump actually do this? I think he probably would. With Iran, I think he would, because we've already gone in. Remember that operation 6 months ago where we went in the middle of the night and we just had some plane. Iran didn't even know what hit them. The plane was basically out of the country and gone before Iran had even realized what had happened. Yeah. So I tend to think that Trump's threat here is probably not just saber rattling. Ask what his message is to the people of Iran. Trump said you should feel strongly about freedom before going on to criticize what has happened in the country. We're watching it very closely. If they start killing people like they have in the past, I think they're going to get very hard by the United States, Trump said this weekend. So, good. Protesters chant support for ousted monarchy. Okay. Massive internet blackout detected across Iran. Internet tracking agency NetBlock says it has detected a nationwide blackout in Iran. A statement. Now, you got to understand, I remember Egypt did this 10 years ago. Egypt did this. And I don't know what it's like in Iran, but a lot of times, these kind of things, these wars, these civil wars and these things, they happen in a centralized area. Whereas in other parts of the country, life is going on as normal. And I remember Egypt had issues because the Egyptian government, at some point, they did an internet blackout. And what happened was it disrupted everything. People weren't able to get into their hotel rooms because you put a key up to the door actually pings some server. The server makes sure your reservation is so there's all this. And this was 10 years ago that happened, if not more. So today in 2026, the reliance on the internet has only grown. So I can only imagine what kind of problems this is creating. I would imagine that this is also creating huge economic problems for Iran, which they already have economic problems. That's part of why people are protesting. But think about commerce. If there's no internet in the country, I remember when I went to Zambia, just some random little country in the middle of Africa. And I used cash for taxis, and that was about it. Every store, every restaurant I went to, I was able to take my phone not even my credit card. I was able to take my phone and put it up against the little machine, and then it boop boop, and then pay. And that's all of that. All of that. So the point I'm getting at is, like, I've traveled a lot, and credit cards and paying by card is so commonplace in so many countries, in Bolivia, in Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, like all these like little countries. It's so common to just pay by card. So I am sure that a huge portion of Iran's economy relies on being able to pay by card. And if that is the case, no commerce is happening. They block out the internet. No commerce is happening right now. Now, Iran might have, like, I guess Iran maybe has sanctions similar to Russia, maybe, like, or I don't know if Iran is still on the SWIFT system, but basically Russia has kicked off the SWIFT system, which means I can't go to Russia and use my credit card, because all of that, like, if I go to any country and use my credit card, the authorization that happens is, as I understand it, is through a system called SWIFT. And it's obviously it's all internet based. But Russia, because of the sanctions, they're banned from the SWIFT system. So I don't know if Iran is or is not, but even if they are, I would imagine they have some system. Like, I know Russia was trying to start their own, and they probably did, but there's probably some system in Iran, but I promise you it runs off it runs off the internet. So if this blackout, I can only imagine that this blackout is just causing not just internet, like, oh no, I can't get to TikTok. Like, it's not just like that. It's probably just causing tons of other problems, like toll booths. Like, if you got to go through a toll in Iran, I'm sure it's based on the internet, and you probably, what are you going to do? Iran was plunged into complete internet blackout on Thursday night as protests over economic conditions spread nationwide. While it was unclear what caused the internet cut, really? First reported by Internet Freedom Monitor NetBlocks, Iranian authorities have shut down the internet in response to protests in the past. Shopkeepers heeded calls from 7 Kurdish political groups for a general strike on Thursday, closing their doors in Kurdish regions in dozens of other cities of Iran. Demonstrators reached all 31 provinces on Thursday as the protest movement showed no signs of abating. Good. In the southern Fars province, demonstrators pulled down the statue of the former Revolutionary Guard Al-Quds force commander Qassem Soleimani, considered a hero of mythical proportions by government supporters. So basically, man, I really hope, like, it's interesting that we had a person from Iran in the chat, Oculision. It's really interesting that Oculision was from Iran and he was here. So my thoughts, I won't say prayers because I'm not a praying person, but my thoughts go out to you, Oculision. I hope you're good. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's okay. I know you probably have, he was the one studying natural science, right? Wasn't it? But he was only 16. He was like 16, so he was young. 16 or 18, I can't remember. But yeah, so hopefully Oculision is doing all right. Iran, the situation in Iran is it doesn't look like, it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. But the weird thing is, let's go to CNN.com. Now, before I hit enter, the reason I'm going to CNN is I want to see if the Iran is on. Like, I'm going to give CNN some credit and say that the Iranian story, in some sense, whether it's about the internet blackout or the protests in general, I am going to say that Iran is mentioned on their front page, but I don't think it's going to be very prominently mentioned. Let's see. Okay, so we got Minnesota. We got mushrooms. We got Republicans bad. Okay, Iranian authorities cut internet. Okay, so okay, it's fairly prominent. It's not super prominent, but it's fairly prominent. What about MSNBC? Let's try that. MSNBC. Let's check it out. Okay, so again, Minneapolis, they this is another thing they do. They take like one picture and it's spread across all the news networks. Okay, so we got lawmakers. I don't see anything about Iran. Protesters in Minneapolis. It's all Minneapolis. Let's just do this. Let's do Control F, Iran. Nothing. Now, let's keep ourselves honest and let's look for the word York. I see York over on the right-hand side. Let's make sure we find the word York. We do. So Iran is nowhere on the front page. Okay. Now let's check out Fox News. Fox News. I am going to say Fox News probably has it about as prominently as CNN does. Let's check it out. All right, so there's Minneapolis, the Minnesota, of course. We got Xi Jinping, we got the House. Okay, all right, Minnesota. Whoa, Fox News, you're going to disappoint me. Vance. Okay, let's do a word search for Iran. Okay, so it is down there. Foreign fighters into Iran and exiled Iranian prince. And so there's not really a lot about Iran on Fox's news. On Fox's website either. And who am I forgetting? We got now CBS. Now CBS is kind of like, I think CBS is one of the media outlets that's kind of done a little bit of a 180. Like they were very, very partisan, and now they've kind of just become more kind of like factual based. Anyway, but okay, let's check it out. I'm going to say CBS probably does have some mention of Iran. All right, well, this isn't okay. Maybe I want CBS News. Is that what I want? CBSnews.com. Okay. So of course, Minnesota, Venezuela. Okay. So maybe I was wrong. Let's look for Iran. Iran cuts internet access. Okay. So it's not as prominent as CNN, but it's there. Let's see. Matthew says telephone lines also out. Wow. Yasher says, hello, what are you discussing? We were talking about Iran. Certified No Chill says, I'm from Norway and haven't even heard about any situation on Iran. Nothing on national news outlets. Wow. No, Iran, and that's the thing. Like, there have been nationwide protests in Iran for multiple weeks now, and it has barely been covered. The only way I heard about it was through YouTubers. I consume some news and hadn't heard about it. It's barely been mentioned. So I'm not surprised that Certified No Chill in Norway has not heard about it at all, because news outlet media outlets just aren't talking about Iran for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe they think because Iran, I was going to say because it's brown people aren't interested, but Iranian people really aren't brown people. They're not. So I don't know. And look, before you get your panties in a twist, all right, just calm down. But no, so I don't know why that was a criticism is what I was talking about. I was not saying something bad. I was accusing other places of being something bad. Let's just get it straight. Let's just keep it straight. But yeah, so I hope Oculision, if you hear this somehow, I hope you're hanging in there, man. I know how hard it is when you don't have your Instagram Reels and you can't scroll through. Okay, that's a terrible joke. That's a bad joke. All right, so let's get started on what we came here to do. All right. So last night we were actually able to kind of get some results, but we were only able to get the logits, the LOGITS results, the logits. Matthew says Sky News UK covering Iran in the world news section. Let's look up Sky News. Well, Sky News is Sky News is like the European Fox News, isn't it? Sky News. Okay, so what do they got there? Airports, okay, because I guess it's snowing in the UK. Immigrants, okay, even Minnesota's there. Let's see. You turn tens of thousands, Minneapolis. Oh my God. Well, all right, whatever. Like the whole Minnesota thing, I'm already sick of hearing about it. Okay. I'm sick of hearing about it. Is this it? Yes, what happened on Iran's Bloody Saturday? So they are there is some mention of it. Who am I forgetting? Okay, let's what is it the CBC, the Canadian broadcast? Is it cbc.ca maybe? Okay, explore the CBC. So is this actually news? Explore all of CBC. I don't know. Let's go here. Okay, so your source of entertainment news. Oh, okay. What news outlets am I forgetting? Let's come on in the chat. Name a couple that I got Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC News. I guess ABC. Let's just look. Let's do a Google search. ABC News. So, in case you're just joining, hey Kirby, what I am doing is I'm going around to various news sites to see who, if anyone, is covering what's happening in Iran, where they have cut the internet, and according to Matthew, who is on the ground in Iran, they have cut the telephone lines as well. All right, let's check out ABC News. So, of course, they're talking about Minnesota. Top stories. Okay, we have a list of top stories. Mamdani, Denmark says talks with U.S. and Greenland. Oh, are we going to get Greenland? Early birds filing taxes. TikTok, NASA. Okay, no mention of Iran. Is there any mention? Nope, just there's Israel. Venezuela, Harvey Weinstein, ICE. Okay, let's do a word search for Iran. Okay. Protests in Iran sparked by economic woes, now national-wide, activist says. So it's as though ABC has just called on to be like, oh, wow, there's something going on in Iran. Maybe we should talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that. I think it would be good to talk about that. What do you think? Let's talk about it. Okay. What other news sites am I forgetting? I'm curious. Okay, so there is the premier. Now I know you guys are not going to care about this, but the premier news site in Bolivia is this La Razón, which means it means the correct, the right. Like tiene razón means I'm right. Like tengo razón means I'm right. Tienes razón means you're right. So la razón is like the right, but I don't mean like the right as in left and right. I mean right as in correct. So let's see. La razón digital in Bolivia. Is there any mention of Iran in the Bolivian news? All right, let's see. Ciudad is about Venezuela. Amazingly enough, there is no mention of Minnesota. Thank goodness. Okay, let's see. Let's just do a word search for Iran. No. That is a false positive there, but then, okay, and that's another false positive. Okay, so no. There's no mention. So Bolivian news is not talking about Iran, oddly enough. That's fine, but I would expect the United States news to do better than the Bolivian news. Kirby says, what do you think about the shooting of ICE? I don't care. That's kind of like where I'm at. Like, I don't care. Like, okay, first of all, I wasn't there, but I'm like, from the video I've seen, like, two things can be correct. Like, multiple things can be true at the same time, right? Like, it does look like the woman was kind of like steering away, trying to, but obviously if you're trying to steer away, even if somebody's in front of you, and even if you are steering away, you know you're like, she knew she was going to hit him. She knew that going forward was going to hit him. So like, there's that aspect of it, but then there's the aspect of it, like, did the cops overreact? Because, like, he was already, like, the car wasn't going to run over him. It pushed him. But at the same time, did he know that? Like, everything happens in a split second. So, and I believe police are trained to actually just shoot. Like, if somebody takes a car and it looks like they're going to run you over, I think they're trained to shoot. I don't know. So I think multiple things can be correct. I think multiple things can be true at the same time. Like, it can be true that the woman should not have done what she did. And it can also be true that ICE should not have done what they did. Right? Like, both things can be true. And I think it's just a sad situation where somebody lost their life. And, like, I mean, should the agent be tried for murder or anything like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. He's been identified, so I'm sure like leftists are going to like attack him. His family's going to have to go into hiding, blah 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 blah. So like I said, I think multiple things can be true at the like simultaneously, and I think that it's kind of like one of those things. Like if this was a post on "Am I the asshole?" I think the most popular response would be "Everyone sucks here." That's what I think. Everyone sucks here. Kirby says, for me, it's just an accident. The officer didn't have a lot of time to think. Exactly. He didn't. And so I don't know. Like you look at the video and like multiple officers are shooting into the car of this window. And it's like, is that an overreaction? Probably. Did the woman put the officer's life in danger? Probably. I would say it's at least a probably. Like, if somebody has a car coming at you and like you can hear the wheels spinning on the ice and it's like coming towards you, you're gonna shit your pants. So like, no, like I said, if this was an "Am I the asshole?" the response would be "Everyone sucks here." That's what it would be. Everybody sucks here. Okay, let's give me a sec. Okay, let's do this. So this morning, I did kind of go through. Last night when we left this softmax algorithm alone, what I was thinking of doing today is I really wanted to implement the softmax algorithm purely in Link, right? I have no idea what the performance would have been like. I just wanted to do it, right? There is this great YouTube video. So Link, in case you don't know, Link is like, it's basically a library on collections, right? And it allows you to do transforms and views and all kinds of different things to collections. And when I say collections, I mean things like arrays, okay? Or dictionaries. And Link is this built-in, it's basically a library that's built into C# that allows you to do it allows you to kind of manipulate them in like collections in this SQL type manner. It's really slick. But there is, so now C#, which of course is a very ancient language. So C#, there's this library called ranges in C#, which is very analogous. It's like C++'s version of Link. And now the ranges library was eventually added to C++ 20 or 23. I don't remember. It's now, the ranges library is now a part of the regular C++ standard. However, there was this, I gotta find this presentation. There is this presentation, and I'll send the link to it if I can find it. Let me look. C++ ranges calendar talk presentation. That's not it. This is 2024. I'll have to find this. So there was, it's from the mid-teens, right? It's probably from like 2015, 16, somewhere around there, where it's gonna bug me. Okay, I gotta stop. It's gonna bug me. But basically, what the presenter did, he wrote a program that outputs a calendar, right? Where you pass the program a year and it outputs a full like calendar January through December, formatted Monday, Sunday through Saturday, or like as Matthew he's probably confused by that, as I think they do in England, it'd be Monday through Sunday, however you want to align it with. And you got to realize that like in some months, like if the month ends on Wednesday, you have to indent the date starting on the next month and so on, right? So you look at like, let's just look, 2025 calendar. Let's just pull up This one might be good. So you look at this, right? And think about a program that prints this out, where you pass it 2025, and don't worry about the month labels. Pretend that maybe it printed the month labels. I don't know. But for the sake of this conversation, let's forget the labels. Let's just pretend that it doesn't output the labels. So you think of a program and like, how would you implement this, right? It has to be formatted. Everything has to be aligned perfectly. Everything, you have to you want to output it just like this, but without the month labels. So you think about that, and there's several ways in which you could approach that. Great. Now I ask you, take the approach that you have in mind, and maybe you're just preliminarily thinking about an approach, right? Take whatever approach it is that you have in mind. Now do it without a loop, without a single loop. I don't want to see a while. I don't want to see a do. I don't want to see a for. I don't want to see a for each. None of that. How would you do it without a single loop? And suddenly the problem becomes much harder and much different. And what this guy did in this presentation is he wrote a full-fledged program using the ranges library, using only the ranges library, and he was able to write a program that printed out an entire calendar formatted just like this without one single fucking loop. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking. I know what Matthew's thinking. Oh dear, I bet there was a loop behind the scenes in the implementation of the ranges library. And you're probably right. I mean, of course you're right. Of course, but that's not the point. How would you do this in Link? I don't even know if it's possible in Link, but how would you do it in Link without a single loop? It's oh my God, I got to find that talk. I got to find the talk. Let's see, C++ talk about the ranges library, where the presenter printed out a calendar without a loop. Yes, Matthew's I was about to say, yeah, I know you were. Practical, is this it? Okay, I think this might be it. Let me see. I mean, the runtime is about the same. Let's see.
All right. See if I can build from scratch. All right. So when we do this,
yeah. So I'm pretty sure this is it. Let me send you a link. It's really impressive how he does this. This is a really great talk. Even if you're not a C++ programmer, if you're a C# programmer, you'll probably still be able to grasp most of what he's talking about. It's a really interesting talk. Let me let's just go to YouTube. Addy goes live. Oh dear, I know that they were using loops behind the scene. Well, of course they were. Jesus Christ. It's not the point. Talk about missing the point. All right, let me see. I'm going to put that. Anyway, there's the talk. Watch it if you get a chance. It's actually really impressive. I hope that is the talk. There might be a better version. I don't remember it necessarily being this type of... I remember it being more professionally recorded, but yeah, no, this isn't it. This is... It only has 4 comments. There might be another version. Anyway, all right, enough of that. So what the point I was getting to is I was thinking, okay, well, how could we implement softmax with just a single link statement? And I kind of gave up on it pretty quickly. But I was able to do this with the help of AI. I was able to kind of come up with something that was pretty concise. The issue was I started going down this performance path. And then I was thinking, well, if this isn't a game, if this will eventually be in a game, it should be performant. And so one of the issues was this right here, this sum. So if you remember the algorithm at one point, it normalizes the values by basically taking each value and dividing it by the sum of all the values, right? So what you could do at one point, and that basically that's happening right here in this line. And one way you could do to avoid this variable is just replace this with that, right? That gets rid of the variable. However, it creates another problem. Can you see what the problem is? You should be able to see what the problem is. Matthew, be quiet. Kirby, do you know what the problem is? Kirby says, group dates into month. What does he mean? Is he talking about normal day? Well, watch the talk. But do you see what the problem is? I gotta take these things off. They're getting a little warm. I've been wearing these knee braces because I've been running a lot and my knees hurt. But now that I'm like talking, come on, get off. All right, and let me do this really quick. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, so the problem with this is that you can select. Oh wait. Okay. So the select statement here is basically under the hood. Okay, what's the problem? What's the problem, Kirby? Tell me the problem. Show me the problem. Show me the problem that I had with it, recalculating every time the sum. Boom, you got it. Right. So that's why like I was like, okay, it's just not going to work. Like it's not going to work for me. Like it will work practically, but it's not going to work for me. So that's, and then there was another thing. I think it was the max, basically being able to calculate the max of a calculated list without calculating the list every time. Or something like that. It was like every time I need the max, so honestly, so this morning I didn't even get to, I basically wrote this, it compiled, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to test it on stream. And here we are. And this is actually part of why I decided to stream tonight, because I wanted to test this on stream. So we're going to test it on stream. Let's see what happens. All right. I'm pretty excited because my wife, when she gets home, I'm not going to get into too many details, but she has been doing her best to be the perfect wife. And she has been going to work every morning, right? She works. She works not because she has to, because I'm a great husband. She works because I don't want to buy her makeup and shorts and clothes. Like I mean, I don't mind doing that stuff, but it's much, but like women are expensive. And like, you probably have seen that meme that's going around that like, you know, there's no such thing as gold diggers. Women are expensive. Find one in your price range and stop complaining. And I get the point. There is some truth to that. The problem is that some women, their price range is, they're not as valuable as their price range in some cases. Not in all cases. In many cases they are. Like there are many reasonable women who like recognize, like who are reasonable with it. But I would say that most women, they push that edge of being like slightly unreasonable. So anyway, so like with my wife, it works out well because she'll want some Lululemon pants. She'll want some makeup, or she'll want to do her nails, or this and that, and blah, blah, you know, all that stupid women shit. And I'm just like, no, I'm like, you know what? So it works out much better that she just goes to work and then she works a job. And so when she wants to buy Lululemon, she can pay for her Lululemon. When she wants to get her nails done, she can pay for her nails done. That's fine. I'll take care of her. I'll take care of the food and all of that. But if she wants all that stupid women shit to like get her hair done and get like, you know, eyelashes and all that dumb shit that women do for other women, she's paying for it, not me. Okay. I don't even remember how I got started on that. I don't. I was saying that I'm pretty excited because she's been doing this like I'm the perfect wife thing since, for a little while now. And so she's been cooking as soon as she gets home. So she goes to work and then she cooks when she gets home. So when I was fasting the other day because of my colonoscopy, I was looking at recipes for chicken parmesan, which is like one of my favorite meals. Chicken parmesan is what I love, a good chicken parmesan. So she's going to make chicken parmesan from scratch when she gets home tonight. Not exactly from scratch. It's not as though she's going out and killing the chicken, but from scratch. So I'm pretty excited. All right, let's see how we can test this. So basically what I did. Oh, wait, I don't even think I put this. It's not even implemented. Okay, so what we have to do, the intent result, this has a bunch of, let's do this. Can we do this? Yes. Okay, but actually I want this one over here. All right, and I want this one, easy, easy. I want this one over here. Okay. Excuse me. So the intent result, it has these arrays, and that's what I would pass to the constructor of this softmax. So let's look at the intent. So what we would have is basically a var intent softmax. Thank you, AI, for being so smart. Okay. This is not quite correct because we need to create a softmax object. Softmax result. It would just be the object, right? Intent logics, log it. Okay, so I should be able to do some link magic with this, right? Can I do select? I wanted to do it without AI's help. Select X, and I'm literally just going to cast it to a float X to array. That should be it. No, it still doesn't like this. Oh, softmax results. Oh. Okay, so will it just automatically convert? No, it's not going to automatically, because it's a float to I need to put it to a double. Okay, so it's a double. Okay, so that should work. So what I want to do is just run this and then literally just inspect this. Oh wait, I don't need to inspect it because I had console write line. Didn't I just do a toString? Yeah, I did just do a toString. So I can just how do I do this? Cash sign result. I should be able to just do intent softmax toString. Yes. Okay. Kirby, why do you need to divide a number by the sum of all numbers? Do you need the numbers proportion of the total? Yes, that's basically how. So you need to normalize the numbers. You get the numbers. Basically, you want all the numbers to be between 0 and 1, because you're basically turning. So I don't quite understand what the model is returning, but you convert it to basically a probability. So you divide, you take the max and you divide each one by that sum, and you're going to get a number 1 through 0, and then all of those should add up to 1. Essentially, you're getting a probability. Now, I don't quite understand why the model just doesn't return the probability, because it's returning the probability of what the person typed or what the input was, the probability that it matches this thing. Right. So if we go to the Python, if we go to the raw data, yeah, this is it. So like here, like verbs, right? So basically we're saying, oh, wait a minute. Now I'm really curious about something. Now I'm super curious about something. Wait a minute. So I see the verbs are here. So the intent is go to. So you can think of the intent as the command, right? So let me back up for a second. All of this is for, remember green guy in the game? I know it's been a while since we looked at the game, but you know green guy, and you have that menu where you can tell green guy to go somewhere. Functionality of which I am still very proud. Thank you. But the purpose of this is, so that's a command you're telling green guy to do. And a portion or a big mechanic of this game, should we ever get to it, because we always get distracted with boats, but a big mechanic of this game will be telling the NPCs what to do. Go to this waypoint is just the first thing that we implemented, but there will be others like follow or stay, and I would say stay until, and things like that, right? So the one way to implement that would just be with menus, like we did with the go to command, where you select go to and then you select the waypoint you want them to go to. That works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But the purpose of this feature is that you would have a dialog box where you can actually just type natural language into the box. You get go to waypoint 1, or hey, I need you to go to waypoint 1. So that's the purpose of this. What I am a little confused of is this. So it makes, this is go to, head to, move to, get to. So are those the only valid ones? Like, what is something, I need you to, no, I'm trying to think of another way to say go to without saying go to. So I'm going to run the Python test script, and we're going to see how to do this. Or can you guys think of another way in which I could say go to something? Head to, move to, get to. I guess I can just ask AI. Oh, hey, look at that good-looking guy. Man, I'm going bald. I need to shave my head desperately. Wait, now I want to look at myself. Tell everybody I'm going bald. Yeah, all right. Let's see if Grok works. Grok has not been working lately. Yes, we're still building a game, Kirby. God, smart-ass Kirby over there. Smart Alec. Okay, other than the following ways, how can I tell an NPC to go to a specific waypoint? I'm looking for natural language. Here are the ways I have. So what I'm confused about is, like, are these the only ones that work? Because if so, this feels very much like a deterministic parser as opposed to a dynamic extraction of commands. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel AI-ish. It feels very much like a deterministic parser. But I don't know if these commands are here to say, hey, AI, these are the types of things that will relate to this, to go to. These are the types of things that will relate to follow. So let's see. Travel to. That's a good one. Let's try travel to. So if I say travel to waypoint 1, okay, it's still got go to with a confidence of 1. All right. What else do we have? Rally at, report to waypoint 1 immediately. And then it's still got go to, it got the urgency of high, it got, okay, so yeah, there's certain waypoints that it's configured for, right? Where are those? Yeah, these are the waypoints it understands, right? So I could say, I need you to relocate to the, what was it? It was to Central Park. To Central Park post haste. Let's see if it understands post haste. So even if, okay, so this is good. This relieves a little bit of anxiety that I just had, because even if I don't use go to, head to, move to, or get to, it still understands here. You can see here that the label go to, it's reporting with 100% confidence. So to explain a little bit of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the raw data that the AI returns. And you can see here, so remember how I said go to was a command you could tell an AI. So think about, these are the 3 commands that this AI, I don't want to say understands, but I basically am telling the AI to return me a JSON structure of what I have told it, right? And I'm saying, hey, the command you can give, it's either going to be a go-to command, a follow command, or a hold position command. These are the things that these are the types of things a user could say for the go-to command. These are the types of things that the user could say for the follow command. But these are not the only things that they can say for a follow command. These are the types of things, which I'm glad it's getting. So then the AI returns like some raw data, and then that raw data is massaged into this JSON you see here on the left-hand side, where it tells you the intent, which is basically the command. In this case, it tells you, oh, a go-to with a confidence of 1. So you can see here, go-to, follow, and hold position. So the AI is saying, okay, go-to had a confidence of 1, follow had a confidence of 0, and hold position had a confidence of 0. So the AI is pretty certain that the user was saying go-to. So let's give it something crazy. Cook me a steak. And so if I say cook me a steak, it's saying hold position with a confidence of 66%. It's not very, I mean, it's kind of confident with a normal speed and a normal urgency. Or I could say, give Matthew a blowy in the bathroom. And it's hold position. So yeah, so it's kind of like a default's to hold position. So hopefully, Kirby, that is what you get. How do people make AIs? I always thought it was done in a deterministic way. No, AI is very non-deterministic. It's very, very, very non-deterministic. Okay, that's why. So deterministic means, can you determine the output every time? Given the same input, can you determine the output? And no, you can't. Not with AI. That's why what I was going to say is that, like, if you ask ChatGPT the same question twice, you're not going to get the same answer. Now, if you ask it something like, what's 2 + 2, and tell me only the answer, yes, sure, you'll get the same answer. But if you tell it like, is there a God, you're going to get a different answer every time. Okay, so let's go back. I think Matthew has left the room. Matthew's gone. Normally Matthew's very chatty, and now he's not here. Okay, and you know, Matthew's not here, not Shore's not here, but it's okay, because I got you, Kirby, I've got you. All right, so let's see what happens if I run this. So basically what I have done is I am in Python. There's a function that I was going to say I have written. There's a function that AI has written that basically takes the raw results and turns them into the JSON you've got over here. So now I'm slowly recreating the same thing in C#. Oh, Matthew is there. He's lurking. Okay, well, that's good to know. Okay. The fact that it has not hit this breakpoint has me a little worried. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, let's just try running it again. All right. All right. That is weird. Okay, where is it stuck? What? Oh, wait. I have to remember, this is one of those, well, shit, I don't know if that replies to this. So I remember in Visual Studio, and this has tripped me up a few times, in Visual Studio, if you throw, like, this is C++. I'm assuming C# is the same way. If your code throws an exception, you will break, and it'll break where it threw the exception. As long as it's set up to do so, it will break where the exception was. Well, it'll break, and the line that has focus is not the line that threw the exception. It is the next line. It is the line. It is the following line that would have been executed had the exception not been thrown, which I understand is probably for it. I'm sure there's some esoteric, low-level debug bullshit reason why it is like that, but that has tripped me up a couple of times. And so, like, the fact that this is green, it does not make me think that the program is stuck on that line. It makes me think that, whoa, shit. It makes me think the program is stuck on the line above it. So let's just test that really quick. Let's just set a breakpoint on the line above it. And now let's, okay, so it is in fact stuck here. Interesting. Alrighty, which means it's stuck in here. Okay, is there anything in here? I don't see, there's no kind of loop or anything. So let's just, okay. 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 All right. Okay. All right. Okay. What is happening? All right, I'm confused. Let's try this another way. Var str equals intentSoft toString. Let's not even print the string. Let's see if it gets stuck on toString. No, it didn't. Okay, well, what is string? Is string like huge or something? It's not. String is actually very small. Okay. All right. Easy. Easy. Okay. Let's try this then. Console write line str plus str. Let's just write it the old-fashioned way. Let's see if that works. What is happening? Oh my gosh. Oh my stars and garters. Okay. Let's see. Well, actually, did it get stuck on toString or did it get stuck on the console write line? It did not get stuck on toString. What is so special about string that's causing it to completely crap itself? Look at this. Look. Look. I don't understand. I don't understand. I want to explain the output, but before I do that, I want to understand why it can't print the output. Okay, maybe there's something I'm fundamentally not understanding. So let's try this. Let's try var str equals hello Matthew and Kirby. Okay, let's make sure that there's not some fundamental thing that I'm just completely overlooking. Console write in a game. Now, this is not in the game. This is not in the game. This is a test bed. This will not be in the game. I'm not going to be writing to a console in the game. Jesus Christ, people. God, you're worse than Matthew. Okay. All right. Matthew did have a good idea. Change the var to string, because even if I do that, it's not working. So let's try that. Even if I do var string equals hello world, or hello Matthew and Kirby. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Just wait a minute, all right? This might have been working all along. I'm not 100% sure, but it might have been working all along. Maybe. It's not closing the console window when the program ends. So that's got me thinking. Okay. All right. That's on me. I know what happened. I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk about it. All right. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. All right. So here is the output. Okay. Well, actually, let's give it some valid input. All right. Let's give it. So this is hurry up and go to the roof vent now, which actually I think is valid input. So let's try that again. Oh, now it does. Now it closes the console window. Oh, no, it didn't. It's over here. Ha! Okay. Let's look at the output and see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, so let's go back into Visual Studio Code. So here is the JSON. And actually, to make this a little bit friendlier, let me paste the output down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the input and I'm going to run it through our little Python program. So let me just do that. And then here's the output we get from this. And now this output, Kirby, this should be deterministic, meaning it should be, oh my God. Oh my God. Are my eyes correct? Are my eyes okay? What, like, am I seeing straight? Oh my God. Look who showed his face in the chat room. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha. I see now. I see. Look who had the nerve to show up. Yes, let's make our own drivers. We're not making drivers. Holy shit, people. No, I'm not going to be outputting text to the console during gameplay. No, I'm not writing a driver. This is a test bed, okay? Let's chill. Let's go, Tim. Penguin Duck actually looked at the title. Let's go, Tim Walz Thursday. Oh, God, I cracked myself up. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at... So, again, to explain what we're doing, we basically just have this little AI. We were testing it in Python. Now, here's when I gave it the text, when I gave it the what was it? It was hurry up and go to the roof. So the Python, it reported back that the go-to label, basically it's saying with 100% confidence that this command is saying go to. It's telling you to go somewhere. And then one of my waypoints apparently is a roof vent, which I didn't even realize. Let me look. It must be. Where would that be? Would that be over here? No, it wouldn't be. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. But it's saying with 70% confidence that it wants the person to go to the roof vent, but 100% confidence that it wants you to go to, and then the destination is roof vent, which with fair confidence, and then with an urgency of high. And what was the command I actually gave it? It was hurry up and go to. Okay, so what we have output in the C# is just the intent portion. Now you gotta think about this. It is broken. This is broken into 4 different portions. The intent, which is the command. What command is the user telling the AI to do, right? And in this case, it's saying go to. The speed, at what speed does the person want like at what speed does that should that action be executed? Which is kind of funny because you could actually say stay here quickly. Like, what does that even mean? Anyway, so the speed is fast, the urgency is high, and then the destination is roof vent. So that's 4 different things. 4 different things. Okay. Now, the only one we have calculated so far, in C# is the intent, the command, which is go to. Now, the way that this works is you have this intent array, okay? The intent array has go to at index 0, it has follow at index 1, it has hold position at index 2. Now, again, the Python is taking all of the numbers that the AI returns and it's converting them into something usable. Whereas C#, we have to do that ourselves. And that's what we're working on. So if I look at the output of the C#, the maximum go-to should be have the maximum probability, which means that the number in the 0th position should be 1.0. I'm a fucking genius. Index 0, probability 100%. Let's go. Okay, so let's throw it something stupid, right? Let's throw it something stupid like let's go back and throw it go make me a steak. Go make a steak. Oh, I'm shouting at it. All right, so go make a steak for me and not sure, but Matthew is a vegan like a pussy. All right, so that's what we're going to pass it. Let me copy this and let's see what the AI outputs. Let's see what the Python outputs. So that it outputs this. Let's just copy this. We're just going to put that over here. Easy. Oh shit! I already ruined my All right, I do that all the time. Like I'll copy something, but then I'll just overwrite it immediately, nearly. All right, so I'm not even gonna look at the values yet. I'm just gonna copy this, and now I'm going to paste it into the C# version, and we're just gonna make sure it lines up. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna make sure they're equal. All right, so I gotta close this, easy. All right, and then, all right, so let's see, we got this. All right, we got this over here. Alrighty, so we have this output here. All right, easy. Now, I don't even want to look. I'm gonna paste and scroll up immediately. Okay, so again, ooh, this is weird. Go make me a steak. I wanted something. All right, you know what? I want something that does not have a confidence of 1. But let's make sure we had a confidence of 1, and we do. Of 100. Let's see what we had. We did get a couple of confidences of a non-1 confidence. What did we say? Okay. Give Matthew a blowy in the bathroom. That's what we're going to try next. All right. Give Matthew a blowy in the bathroom. All right. I mean, who hasn't gotten a blowy in the bathroom before? If you haven't gotten a blowy in the bathroom, you guys deserve it. Like you do not doubt yourself. Like, do not think down on yourself. Just remember, you deserve a blowy in the bathroom. Everybody does. Okay. I don't know that I've ever actually had a blowy in the bathroom. Maybe, like not a public bathroom, a dressing room, but not a public bathroom. All right, that's kind of a humble brag. I'm sorry. All right, let me just come over here and over here. But I'm old, right? And like that's the thing. It's like I remember. No, I'm not even going to go down there. I'm not going to go down that conversation. Nope. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try give Matthew a blowy. I'm going to try giving Matthew a blowy in the bathroom in C#, and let's see what happens. Do not clip that. Do not clip that. Whatever you do not clip that. All right, let's go. All right, so we have this. All right, we can just terminate that. Okay, so what we had up here is a probability of 0.6681, and we're getting the same exact thing down here, 66.81%. And then so then we have a go to. Oh, it's correct. So okay, get this. Hold position, which is in slot number 2. Here it goes, index 2, probability 66.81. Then we have go to, which is slot 0, and it has a probability of 9%. Okay, so this is working beautifully. I mean, there's still work to do, but it's working beautifully. So what we can do That's interesting. Okay, so it should be fairly easy. All right. So that's the intent softmax. And then I think we have speed and urgency softmax. Now we're gonna have to do a little bit of work for the waypoint, but let's just literally we can just copy and paste, right? We should be able to just. Wait, what? Who? Oh, it's hard coded. Okay. So speed softmax, and then we have the last one is urgency. I like that word, urgency softmax. Okay. And now I have to make sure that these array names. Now I think we're going to you know what? Not sure and Matthew fail because neither of you reminded me to commit, because that was an excellent place to commit code, and neither of you, both of you bastards. Now, I will forgive Kirby because I like him, but the rest of you guys, no. All right, I'm just going to commit. Okay, I'm not. I want to. Let me open up ignore. star.onnx star.pt can I do pt can I god damn it AI stop can I do this onnx star or dot star? Will that work? I feel like that can be combined. So let's wait a minute. Okay, that does work. And then I think I'm just, okay, in the vocab.json, I will explicitly, this is, okay. Model output files. Okay, so we can check this in. We can basically just, everything that's remaining here, we can check in. Okay. Although we haven't tested what I just added, that's fine. That's how we roll. All right. This code is looking good. No thanks to not sure, but all thanks to Kirby, and a little thanks to Matthew. All right. And I gotta correct that A right there. All right, perfect. Writing in FPS, Kirby, so I have no idea what we're doing. We're writing a game, not sure. Kirby passed philosophy. All right. Congratulations, Kirby. Congratulations. All right, we got some. So not sure to explain what we're doing is, you know how green guy, you can tell green guy to go to a pre-configured waypoint. Functionality for which I am very proud, and I will keep repeating that over and over and over. Why? Because I am very proud of that functionality where we can tell green guy, hey, go to waypoint 1. So what we're working on is a very small AI model where you can literally type in go to waypoint 1. And then, so basically imagine like now where you click on green guy to get that menu where you can tell him to go to. Imagine there's another option. I don't know what the UI will look like, but we'll get there when we get there. But imagine there is another option where you basically just get a text box and now you can type in go to waypoint 1, right? But we want to be able to handle real language. We want to be able to handle like there were suggestions that AI said, like, make your way to waypoint 1, travel to waypoint 1, run to waypoint 1. But obviously, and there will be other commands as well. Instead of go to, there will be follow or stay or shoot or whatever, right? There will be various number of commands. And so, but we want to be able to interact. We want to be able to tell those commands to the NPCs using natural language. And we've talked about this before. We talked about this functionality a long time ago. And then once we have that in place, and we don't even need to wait for it to entirely be in place. That's where we can also hook that up to some type of voice to text. So you can actually just push a button, speak into your microphone and be like, hey, green guy, go to waypoint 1. And then boom, green guy goes to waypoint 1, which I think would be cool. I think that would be cool. I know we've talked about this in the past. So this is a step in that direction. So what I have done is I have trained a very basic model using Python. And then we have this little Python test script where and so basically the AI outputs JSON that will be able to easily parse inside of the game to be able to determine what it is the users or the player said. Excuse me. And so we have this little Python test bed, but now we're just kind of taking the Python test bed and kind of now we're kind of implementing it in C# in such a way that this C# library will be easily brought into our Unity project. That's what we're doing. Maybe I should, like on nights like this where like I know what we're going to do, maybe I should type those in the video description. Let me know what you guys think. If I should do that or if that's just a waste of my time. Okay, so we have, let's try, so go to waypoint 1. Oh, that's right. We don't have a valid waypoint 1. What we do is Central Park. So I'm just trying to find the list of them. All right, so they're here. Notepad to-do list. Okay. All right. I keep trying to use GitHub as my to-do list, but then I like a stream or two later, I forget about it. So I think, I think I'm going to start doing these 4 o'clock streams every day. I think I like this. I kind of like this. And maybe this should just be when I stream from now on. Maybe. I mean, if Not Sure can make it, then I might as well. Okay. So here is the part I don't understand. Okay, let me explain it. So we have the intent or the command. I was calling them commands when we were, in the game, but the intent, like the intent of what you're telling the NPC to do. You want them to go to, you want them to follow, you want them to stay, you want them to drop, you want them to pick up, whatever. So that's the intent, what you want them to do. And then we have some modifiers. The speed at which they should do it and the urgency at which they should do it. Now, these two modifiers, the AI kind of added. I don't know that both of them make sense. Like, could you slowly but urgently do something? I guess you could, right? Like, could you with a low, or I guess you could with a low urgency do something, but maybe they do both make sense. We'll have to think about that. But the point is that these are fixed. These are fixed, right? Like every version of the game will have a go-to intent. Every version of the game will have a high urgency, right? However, the waypoints are a bit special because they are user configured. So the rate, as far as I understand what the AI is doing for the waypoint, it is basically doing vector match. It's basically doing some type of vector math or linear algebra to figure out which of these waypoints fits inside of the text best. That's how I understand it. And this is done after the fact. And you can see this if you look here. By the way, all of this code is it's up on GitHub. It's not in the St. Abilene project. Instead, it's its own repo. St. Abilene intent model. I can post that in the chat room for you guys in case you want to look at it. I hate, like, Matthew, do you, like, when you stream, are you able to send chat messages directly in Streamlabs? Because I can't. Even if I do this, like, I sign in and nothing really happens. It just like, oh, like I'm signed in. Great. But nothing happens in Streamlabs, right? So it would be great if I could just do it directly in Streamlabs, but apparently I cannot. Anyway, I'll just put this in case you guys want to look at what I'm doing here. All right, let me I'm just going to move this. I'll just move this off screen so that way I can oh, my wife's home. Let me go say hello to her, and then I'll be back, and then we're going to wrap up at 6 o'clock. I'll be right back. All right, boys. All right. Okay. Matthew says, I don't use Streamlabs to monitor chat. That's why you don't get blowies in the bathroom. 2 meetings. What about the meetings? You're in Discord, right? Pop it in Unity questions. Oh, okay. You're talking to Kirby. Matthew says, I only take large ones. Anyway, okay, so how do we handle this? I don't know. Well, I guess the best way is to kind of try to understand as best we can how it's done in Python. But the Python's doing a lot, right? Like the Python, it's even, like, I don't know why the AI added this, where, like, the AI added functionality to return a question. Actually, it's not a terrible idea. So let's say that in this case, it doesn't understand which waypoint you want it. Now, okay, so go to waypoint 1. It's not entirely clear because we don't have a waypoint 1. we only have these, right? Fifth floor bathroom, roof vent, blah, blah, blah. We don't have a waypoint 1. So the AI has basically returned functionality that says, I don't know which waypoint they want to go to. So here is a list of the top contenders. And for some reason, here's the question you should ask. But this could easily just be done by looking at this, where it basically, it doesn't know. Like, you can see through the JSON that it doesn't know. So anyway, that's what's that. So I don't know quite why that functionality is in there. Matthew says, I studied some AI at uni, still confused. What are you confused? Are you confused about what we're talking about? Or are you confused with what, like, something else? Literally, okay, it's gonna bug me, like, if at least one of you doesn't understand what we're doing. So, like, if none of you understand it, like, let me know, because I'm willing to explain. I'm willing to drill down a little deeper if that's what it requires. I like to teach. I enjoy teaching. So, and not that I'm exactly would be teaching anything, but I would be explaining, which is kind of like teaching. So I would be teaching you guys what I'm doing. So I don't know how useful that is. But if you don't understand what's going on, let me know. And I'm happy to kind of like try to explain it in a different way. Okay, so only attempt waypoint matching when the intent applies a target location. In general, they just threw Python at us and didn't explain much. Yeah, but the Python's not exactly it's not exactly complicated or anything. There are some black boxes, right? I like black boxes. No, let me see. So bow intent net. Where is it? That's one of my classes. Yeah, here it is. So this is one of the black boxes where you're just kind of putting in some data of let's see. So let's see what it's doing. Vocabulary size, like the whole vocabulary thing. Count, vectorize. What is the vocab? What does the vocab look like again? See, it really confused me as to why waypoint 1 is in here. Now, immediately, I have no idea what the purpose of this is. Follow. Like, where did, like, how did waypoint 1 get in this? Oh, wait a minute. That's how. Okay. All right, so that makes sense. But I still don't quite understand what the vocab.json is used for. Not sure says it's just dice rolling. It's really not. But I want to understand why or how the waypoint functionality works. Okay, so let's just look at the code. So we have this match user text. So this is just for waypoint. This is just for, I'm going to shut the door. I'm going to confide in you guys for a second. So during the day when I work, I don't sit in my chair probably for more than 15 minutes at a time. I'm up constantly. The longest I actually sit in a chair is when I do this stream. And so, like, I'll sit here and talk to you guys for what, 45 minutes, half hour, an hour, 2 hours without getting up. And whenever I get up while I'm still on stream and I have to walk over there, I am self-conscious. I feel like an old man because when after sitting so long and standing up, like, my legs are sore because I'm old, okay? And it just happens. And so, like, I stand up and my legs are also kind of asleep and I'm like, I'm an old man. So I'm just going to start turning the camera off when I got to stand up and go to the door just to even shut it. Okay, so let's see what's happening. I have no idea. So matcher is this bow intent thing, wasn't it? Wait, waypoint matcher. Okay. Okay. So that's its own class. Okay. 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 So this is using some model. All right. So there is some AI-ish. What's going on? Sentence transformers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it has a list of waypoints. Set waypoints. Okay. So waypoints, list of waypoints. Okay. So it's just setting the waypoints. It's encoding. I'm guessing that's just encoding the text properly. And it's doing some type of vector distance. From what I understand, is it's turning the text into a vector, some type of numerical representation of the text. And this is how AI works in general, right? Like it takes the text, it turns it into a numerical representation that is unique for that text. And then basically using linear algebra to do like vector distances, like you can measure the distance of one vector to another. That's kind of how it's doing the matching, and I'm doing that with air quotes, right? But there's other considerations because an infinite number of vectors can have the same distance to each other, but I'm not sure that is applicable to language. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I don't even know. I'm not even sure what I said makes sense. I'm just going to assume it doesn't. Okay, so this is a bunch of Python that I don't understand, and I don't. Let's see, ambiguity. And this is what we would basically have to do in C#. Wow. But this sentence transformer is what's really got me curious. So let's see if we can just ask AI what that's about. All right, let's see. I think I have okay. Talk to me about the Python module sentence transformer. What is it and what does it do? Yup, we did this for images of numbers and having to print them out. Well, I remember part of how reverse image reverse image search. Part of how that works is very similar to what I described. Instead of vectors, it's turning into matrices, which is they're not the same thing, but you can kind of think of matrices as multiple vectors. But from my understanding is that reverse image search basically turns an image into a matrix. And you can kind of think about this intuitively, right? An image is nothing but just pixel, next to it another pixel, next to it another pixel. Under that row of pixels, there's another row of pixels, and so on. So now, if you think instead of colors, you think of the RGB value. Now, I don't know that it actually uses the RGB value. I would imagine it does to some extent. But if you think of just the RGB values, each one of those in each pixel, you see what I mean? So now you have a numeric matrix. Never mind that RGB is 3 numbers. I know that. That just makes it more complicated. But you could still do it. So now you have a matrix where each element, instead of a single integer, it's 4 integers, right? Because you have the RGB and the alpha. So now you have a matrix where each element is 4 integers. And then now you can just do matrix math, right? Now you have something of which you can take the difference of something else. So if you have a second image, you can take the difference of those 2 matrices, and then you can compare it. Now, if you have a third image, you take the difference of the original image with this new image, and now you can say, oh, well, this one is closer to the original than this other one. And that's kind of how reverse image search works. Okay. We use RGB values for flowers. Okay, sentence transformer is a tool for turning text into numbers that capture meaning. We were just talking about this. More precisely, it converts sentences, phrases, and short text into dense vectors embeddings such that texts with similar meaning end up closer together in vector space. This is what we've been talking about, boys. This is what we've been talking about. It does not generate text. Never said it did. It does not chat. Never said it did. It does not reason. Never said it did. It measures semantic similarity. That distinction matters a lot. I don't care. Okay, what the problem solves in plain English. So basically, it embeds each sentence into a vector. Then you compare vectors using cosine similarity, which is basically just like, it's a fancy type of difference, or a fancy type of subtraction. You can kind of think of it. Close vectors have similar meaning. Far vectors have different meaning. What sentence transformer actually is under the hood, what it does not do, why it's perfect, I don't care. Okay. How it works in your code. Okay, so you have that, and then you encode it. Okay. Okay. So the $1 million question: is there a similar or directly equivalent library for C#? So not sure. Where are you at these? Like, are you back here in Northern Virginia, or are you like at some like random location in like International Falls, Minnesota or something? We had to use different optimizers. They didn't really explain how they worked underneath, but pretty cool. Matthew, it's interesting because I have a math degree, a degree in mathematics. And so I obviously have taken a lot of math courses, humble brag. But what you're describing is probably the closest class that I took, or the most relevant class I have taken. How can I put this? The most relevant mathematics class I took, other than linear algebra, that is applicable to AI, is numerical analysis. It was a senior level numerical analysis class, and it was really cool. I mean, it talked about like, that's where like you learn about Newton's method for if you're given 2 point, or like, let's say you're given 4 points, right? A point, and then you got to come up with an equation that like sits on that will sit on those points and that kind of thing. Like numerical analysis, and it's a very not discrete. It's a very applied mathematics course, and I always liked the the unapplied, the pure mathematics, the abstract mathematical classes, like abstract algebra, for example, or real analysis. But for whatever reason, I really did enjoy numerical analysis. Okay. Yes, there are C# options that are equivalent in capability, but the ecosystem is different from Python. Well, no shit. In Python, sentence transformer gives you model plus tokenizer plus pooling plus normalization in one package. In C#, you typically get that by either using a C# wrapper or running the Onyx model. Well, we're running the Onyx model. LLM are hyperspace matrices. Yeah, I think by hyperspace, you probably just mean like 3 or 4 or 5, or like in-dimensional matrices. Like a normal matrix, that like the matrices we all learn about in linear algebra are 2D, right? They have a width and a height. And then a 3D matrix would just be exactly that, a width, a height, and a depth. But then you could go into like 4 dimensions and other dimensionals. Okay. So I don't even know where to begin. But we have already brought Onyx into our project, right? We've already done that. So maybe we're actually further along than we think. I just realized something. Oh boy, Addy, what have you done? You've done it now. Okay, so okay. Let's see what happens. So I am pretty sure I pushed some changes to master on a different computer where this is still all C#_test, but I moved things. I'm curious to see if Git is smart enough. So basically I took the C# stuff and I moved it into another folder. I just called the folder C#lib. I'm curious to see what happens. Okay. That looks about like what I thought would happen. Okay, so we just got some conflicts. Let's see what these conflicts are. I'm curious as to how it's going to handle these folder difference conflicts. All right, so the git ignore will start simple. That's probably going to be the simplest of the. I'm going to resolve these conflicts, and I think when I went downstairs to say hi to my wife, she's like, "Well, can you stop the stream now?" And I'm like, "We talked about this. I said 6 o'clock, but I'm gonna go ahead." She's making me dinner, so the least I can do is like end the stream a little early. All right, but let me. But I'm going to resolve these conflicts first. We're going to have a clean Git repo before I end this stream. You hear me, boys? You hear me? All right, let's see. What do we got? Yeah, C#lib, the intent model, PT. So I think this is fine. And, oh, it's because of the Git ignore. Okay. Everything else, I guess, is fine. Like Git was smart enough to just move everything to the appropriate folder. Okay, it knew. So let's do Git. No, rebase. Git rebase -- continue. Oh, I thought okay, so it's telling me that I still have. It's telling me I still like. What do you mean? I resolved them. Sometimes I really hate this. I hate like merge conflicts are like a programmer's nightmare, right? Like that merge conflicts. So Matthew, are you getting excited about the move? Not sure, and I will be at your place by 9 a.m. Saturday to help you move. I'm going to supervise. Not sure we'll do the heavy lifting. So, I mean, look, I'm old, right? Like, you guys can't expect an elder to lift furniture. Jeez. Have some respect for your elders. You must edit all merge conflicts and then mark them as resolved. I thought I did. Where's the merge conflict? It's not even showing me like, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's take this step by step. No. Remove. All right. Okay. 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 Let's just do it again. Maybe if I do it again, it'll suddenly somehow fix itself. Nope, it won't. Okay. Let's look at this again. All right. So git ignore. This is telling me it has a merge conflict. But you know what? I'm just going to do... Now, I always forget this. Resolve using mine. You would think that's the one on the local machine, but it never is. Okay, I'm just going to do it anyway. Resolve using mine. Okay, fine. Just do it. Okay. Now, can we do the git rebase continue? Yeah, no. What? Okay, what is Visual Studio Code telling me? Okay, what if I do this? Now, can I do the git rebase continue? Ah, okay, that's a good sign. Ah! Oh, god damn it, this isn't Vim. God damn it. How do I save? Okay. Control O. Yes. Control X. All right. Git rebase continue. Okay, perfect. Git pull rebase just to be safe. Git Git push F. Are you kidding me? All right, I think I can just do it through Visual Studio. Oh, wait, I can't. Wait, whoa. All right, I'm gonna try just let's do it through Windows. Okay, so this is Linux. Well, it's not really Linux. It's WSL, which is kind of like Linux. It's it's like a Linux. It's almost like a Linux VM, although it's a little more intimate than a VM, right? Like where like if you use something like VirtualBox, that's kind of like that's kind of like having sex with a condom, whereas WSL is kind of raw dogging it. I guess raw dogging it would actually be kind of like if you just installed like dual booting, right? I guess that would be more closer to raw dogging it. Whereas WSL, that's a good analogy. It's kind of where like you're having sex with a condom and then it breaks. Yeah, that's probably about right. Okay. So I think, I think one day, I think a lot, like as a man, like I think all men probably think about the legacy that they're going to leave behind. And I kind of like the fact that, like my daughter, for example, like when I did my podcast, the Addie and Gabe Show, which one day I will release posthumously, but, my daughter, she once told me that she used to listen to the Addie and Gabe Show. Like this was years after I stopped doing it. But she told me she would listen to it like when she missed me, right? And she's my daughter, and my daughter missed me like when she was younger, not anymore. But so I would think about that. And like I think about like my travel channel, I think about this, I think about other online content like that I've created. And I kind of like the fact that even after I'm gone, like if I have grandkids, that like my grandkids will be able to listen to this and be able to like, what was my grandfather like? Or even like if I'm lucky enough magically to somehow meet my great grandchildren, which probably won't happen, but you know what I mean? Like think about like 50 years from now where like children will be able to like, oh, my great granddad, he died in 2026. But my great granddad, this is my great granddad. Now I'm not saying they'll listen to every piece of my content, but they can at least listen to some of it to kind of learn what type of person I am. And so I think about that often as I am making analogies about how WSL is like raw dogging sex, whereas VirtualBox is like having sex with a condom. So I think about these things about this is the type of man that I am telling my great grandchildren that I am. So do with that what you will. And on that thought, I'm going to go raw dog it with my... I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to call it a night. It's a little early, but, it's an extra day. So I will be back. I think I'm going to do this again tomorrow night at 4 o'clock. I'm not sure. Wait, I just got back from Orlando. Well, not sure. I hope you're around tomorrow. It sounds like you're back home in Northern Virginia. We should get a drink. At some point, not sure. We should like for reals get a drink. I have this mental image of not sure. Well, okay, not sure. How tall are you? Before I end the stream, I'm going to guess before I look. Tell me please type how tall you are in the chat room if you're still listening. But I'm going to say I am a very average height for a man. Like I am like the definition of average height for a man, right? Like you look up like what is like for like an American, like what is the average height of an American man? Like I can see over here that somebody's typed something, but I haven't looked at it yet. So, okay. So I'm a little bit taller than the average man. I am above average in terms of height by exactly 1.5 inches because I am 5'10.5". I'm thinking, I'm trying to decide if, so my instinct says not sure is shorter than me, which makes me think that I'm wrong. So I'm going to say he is 6'1". That was close. He's 6 foot. He's 6 foot. Damn, I'm good. Kirby says he's 5'10". All right, so Kirby and I are about the same height. All right, not sure. If you would, how much? Now you don't have to answer this, but how much do you weigh? Right? Like, this is a very sensitive question for women, not so much for men. Right? Like, I have been struggling right at like the 200 mark. Like, I was really happy when I was fasting because I was like 197. But then, of course, I start eating and it goes right back up. So, like, I'm like right at 200. I'm going to say at 6 foot, that means he's allotted a little more weight because he's a little bit taller. But I'm trying to decide if not sure is like overweight or if I'm going to say that he's probably a similar BMI as me. So I would say, but first, I'm very dense. I'm going to say he weighs 195. I'm waiting. Kirby is skinny. 140. Whoa, Kirby. Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait. You are 5'10" and weigh 143 pounds? What the hell, dude? You're like a coat rack. Wow. All right, I'm still waiting for Not Sure to tell me how much he weighs. What did I say? 190, I'm going to say 195. Come on, Not Sure. 190 to 195. Still waiting. All right, well, I'm going to keep waiting, it looks like. All right, boys, I'll be back tomorrow 4 p.m. I hope you can join me. Matthew, you have no excuse because 4 p.m. is only 9 p.m. for you. So I know you got a big day on Saturday, but you can still squeeze in a little time. You can squeeze in a little time to come join us. Not sure? Sounds like you don't have an excuse either. You can squeeze in a little time more. You're more than that. Okay, so you're a bigger guy. All right, so you're a bigger guy. Well, let's get a drink, and I'm going to pick you up, and then I'll tell you. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not, but we should get a drink. We should get a drink. Matthew says 197, down from 204. So Matthew, and you're 5'8". Okay, so you're losing weight. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Might have to join on mobile if I can. Okay, well, join on mobile if you can. I would appreciate it. Would love to see you. I hope to see all of you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. And have a great rest of your day. All right, boys. Talk to you later. Bye.